What's going on, guys? My name is Greg, and I'm coming at you live with the first 1v4 episode, the podcast where I talk about 4 different topics in the esports scene. Today we're going to be talking about Call of Duty and Halo, since the Halo World Championships just aired this last weekend, with Splice coming out with the W. But we're going to talk about tournament style and how amateur players can get themselves known and what MLG can do to expand console esports. So, tournament style. As you all know, there's championship bracket and there's the open bracket. If you go into open bracket and you win the entire, rounds going into the championship bracket, you get placed in the championship bracket, which means you are in group play. So, with that being said, how does one make it out of open bracket? One makes it out of open bracket by having a really good team and having a ton of practice, not a last minute team. And in order to do that, you need to win every single game. You cannot fall into the loser's bracket. Falling into the loser's bracket just makes your life a whole lot harder. Open bracket is a failing system. Amateur players are not going to college, or they are, and they're not succeeding at gaming, or they're not succeeding in college. Very few players are succeeding at both. Slasher being the exception of getting his degree at Santa Cruz. He's one of the only pro players that has a degree at this point. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. With that being said, what can we do to make the open bracket more sustainable? And that is by having qualifiers. That means that it's not based off pro point standing, not based on how many games you played before the tournament started, not based on who's on your team and who carries the most weight. Because back in 2013, 2014, people would buy accounts. And that's when you had to put the account on your team online, and it would link and it would understand, alright, they have more points than this team. Therefore, they're seated higher, get a better open bracket chance of making it to the group stage. A ton of teams were buying these accounts and putting their gamer tags on them in order to qualify at a higher seed. Broken system? Yes. Doesn't work. This is what needs to happen. Qualifiers for every single tournament. I don't care if you're Optic Gaming, if you just won COD Champs, this weekend before, does not matter. What you need to have is a system like CSGO, where their IEM tournaments, for their major tournaments, they have to have qualifiers. Now, some of these qualifiers may be online, some of them may be on LAN, but if they're online, there's a certain host that all the players connect to, so it's very, very fair, and there's very little lag. Tick rate's constant. There's no fluctuation. In Call of Duty, we have an open bracket and 2Ks that are all online that use quote-unquote dedicated servers when they're actually not. And we have the same teams winning them every single time. Optic, Envy, Complexity, you name it, they're winning it. Why? Because they're professional players. They signed contracts. They get paid thousands of dollars a month to compete. Some of these players aren't even in the pro league yet. They're making thousands of dollars. It's a joke. How are you having professional players play in the quote national circuit for $1,000 and a guaranteed, flight, hotel for one tournament? That's a joke. There's nothing good about that. Because you're just saturating. You're saturating the lower tier organizations with pro players that couldn't make it, and so now they're playing for orgs that had no right in their at all. But in order to make a name for themselves, they had to hire these players, and now some of them aren't even getting paid. Era, Most Wanted, streaming organizations now are buying players with what money? I promise I'll give it to you. IOUs. It's not working. So the tournament style has to change. Qualifiers. That's what we're going to be talking about right now. I'm going on a rant. It's been on my chest, on my shoulders, on my back. It's been weighing me down because I look at COD or the competitive Reddit, the COD comp Reddit, or comp COD Reddit, whatever you want to say, and it is very frustrating to read. I could care less about roster changes. Those don't play a factor into any of this. In Halo 2, like the early and late game stages of Halo 2, every single team had to go through open bracket, regardless if you won the event last. That was cool because, the number 3 team in the tournament would be upset in the third or fourth round because some amateur team from North Dakota decided to come out and demolish everybody. That's cool. That's a storyline. It's like the March Madness, the Cinderella story. Yet we don't have that anymore because we have this group play. So pro points, the first tournament in the season, if you place in the top 12 or 16, you're pretty much guaranteed. If you're good and you place outside of the top 12, if your team's pretty good and you place outside of the top 12, in between top 12 and top 16, you will probably make it into the pro league because the first tournament gets you points, and then you win the next couple 2Ks or you place well on them. You just grind it. But amateur players can't do that because they have school, they have to go to work. So why don't we have qualifiers for every single tournament? We can either do online or LAN tournaments for the qualifier for the tournament, because not every team will then make it into the tournament. Just like in CSGO, Cloud9 may not make it every time. Optic Gaming never made it after the first, E-League Season 1 win. They didn't qualify for the next one. Virtus Pro, NIP, all of these teams that are huge teams, known in almost every single household that watches CSGO or plays CSGO. Some of them may not make it, yet no one is complaining about it. They just didn't play up to their standards for that weekend. So I have to wait out, and now a new team can be crowned the best. Yet we have a snowball system in effect where, all right, you guys, didn't place well at Dallas, but you guys placed well at New Orleans, so we're going to let it slide, and you guys are still going to be in the pro league, or you guys are going to be guaranteed a spot in pool play for the next tournament. Why? Why should you be given something? You earn it. I don't care if you're the world champion. You didn't earn a spot in this game at all. None of us did. A Halo 3 pro player is not a Halo Reach pro player. They are considered a Halo Pro, but they are not a Halo Reach pro player until they place in the top 16. Back in the day it was top 16, now it's top 8. You are not considered a World War II pro, even if you are an Infinite Warfare pro, until you place in the top 8. You cannot put this label on all of these teams unless they consistently place in the top 8. We have Parasite, world champion, playing for Complexity, or was playing for Complexity, now he's playing for Ghost. He's considered a World War II pro because he signed a contract. Has he placed in the top 8 at any tournament? Not that I can remember. And no disrespect to any of these players I'm going to be calling out. It's just to show you how screwed up this system is. Let's see. Scump. Okay. Let's say he didn't place in the top 8 first event. Let's just say. This is all hypothetical. Would he be considered a pro? To our standards, he would be, because he is playing under a contract and getting paid money. But the standards that the tournaments hold on us, he would not. He'd be a semi-pro. Top 24 to top 12 is semi-pro. Top 8, or I guess I can go top 8 to 1 is pro. So what we need to do is we need to have a qualifier because all of these quote pro players are getting the easy way in. How many amateur teams would qualify for group play if they had the chance to go up against pro teams? Enigma 6. Was it E6 at that one Detroit land back in AW? They just came through open bracket and upset a bunch of teams. Now, it's 1 in 2 or 300 that happens. Yet, we aren't giving them any respect after that. We don't give open bracket respect. Back when Optic Gaming and Optic Nation were two different teams, Optic Nation went through open bracket, breezed through everybody. They won $3,000. And Bose was like, cool, I just won open bracket. That was easy. Didn't get to play in group play because open bracket had a separate standard compared to open bracket. You were considered the open bracket champion. I think that was at Ghosts in Anaheim. Now, with that being said, why aren't we having qualifiers? I'm going to keep coming back to that. Why do we have all of these tournaments? All of these are in quotes. We don't have any tournaments compared to any other esport other than Halo, but CSGO, players are traveling every other week across the world in Europe. Yet we have them going to one event in Europe, and Australia has nothing. They have maybe one tournament for themselves. They don't have. I don't think they have any actually. Yet, they're playing in the open or the national circuit. It's just a joke. If you hear dogs barking, that's my neighbors. For this game or any console esport to be considered an esport and high up on the list, they need to have qualifications for tournaments, not just give it to them. Now, rip me apart on this. I don't care. But if Optic Gaming wins Seattle, they shouldn't automatically be bid into Anaheim. That's not how it works. They need to earn it to go to Anaheim. They didn't earn it by winning Seattle. They earned winning Seattle by playing at Seattle. They didn't win a free trip to Anaheim for winning Seattle. They need to play in qualifiers. Now that's not going to happen in this game. It's probably never going to happen at all because console esports are considered a joke to the other esports. We have Rocket League getting more viewers than Call of Duty. Rocket League, and there's no like lands for them until the World Championship. And even I don't even know if that's even considered a LAN. We're gonna go into Call of Duty. No more tournament style. I can bring up tournament style though. In Call of Duty. Call of Duty. We're gonna look at that. So we're gonna strike that out because we just talked about it. Call of Duty. In order for it to be a successful esport, it needs to be one game. No more cycles. Look at Halo 3, pinnacle of console esports. That game was played for what, 4 years, 5 years? Insane. And then Halo 4 came, or then what was it? Halo Reach? Halo 4? I don't have it in front of me. This is just opinion, and this is why it's called the 1v4. My opinion on 4 different topics. One company needs to make it. And we all know that we want it to be Treyarch. Vonda knows how to make a game. We didn't like jetpacks, yet Black Ops 3 was one of the funnest jetpack era games we've played. Some BS on the side, with the guns and the wall running, all that stuff, but it was optimized. It was good. It was a good game. I can guarantee people would play it still to this day if it was competitive. We need to have one company make one game, and then all the other companies buy into that game. meaning Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward, buy into the game, into the studio. Their studio works on it for a year, but it doesn't change the game. They had a separate campaign, some multiplayer maps if they want to. You know, they can put the same map out but redesigned. A terminal can be redesigned. How in MW2 it was an airport and terminal. Later on it was like on the moon or something like that in IW. They can do something like that. They can reimagine the maps, still the same maps. Maybe add a gun here or there, but make it the same game. CS:GO has been played for decades or for years, but the CS:GO game or CS:GO is a installment of the CS franchise. The CS franchise has been around for decades. Halo has been around for decades. Bungie knew how to make a good Halo. 343 has no idea what they're doing. Call of Duty needs to follow Halo 3 esports. That was one of the most. If Halo 3 esports was around today, using the same exact structure as Halo 3 did back in the day, we'd be getting upwards of 1 to 200,000 people watching. We're hitting 45K on a good day for Call of Duty. Halo 3 was the pinnacle of console esports, and will be standing that way until we do something about it. And we're going to be talking about a little bit about that. What made it so good? Nothing changed, except for the teams. And then MLG would go through the maps and change. Alright, OS is spawning here, and we're going to put it to right over here. Camos, or, OS kind of made a little bit of an OP stance for the team that got it, because Overshield back in the day was super insane. It's not like what it is now. It had 2 layers. I think it took 8 shots to get it off. And then you had to do another 4. So if you had to do 12 perfect shots to eliminate that player with OS, and by the time you get 2 or 3 off, you're already getting traded. Nothing needs to change in these games, because change brings inconsistency. CS:GO has been the same game for years. The same maps, the same guns. Everything you could think of is the same. Why are we changing it every year? Why is League of Legends so successful? They add new characters, but it's the same game. The interface might change, but it's the same game. Dota 2. Characters might be added, teams might be changed, but it's the same game. Call of Duty. Every year, a different developer. Same publisher, Activision, but the same damn thing happens. New game between October and November. We go from boots on the ground in Ghost, jetpack flying in Advanced Warfare, to wall running in Black Ops 3, to wall running in jetpacks again in Infinite Warfare, back to boots on the ground. Within 3 years, we had somewhat of a consistency. If we're going to be talking about jetpack era, AW was by far the best one. Guns were good, maps were pretty damn good. There was no wall running, no specialist, none of that stuff. It was pure gun skill, I would think. At that point, it's the skill gap was your maneuvering in gunfights. If you would dash left or right, what caused you to be better than the other player? It wasn't that you could, heat wave in and stun him for 45 seconds. It was just pure gun skill and movement, not maneuvering, movement. Maneuvering would be trying to get away from things, like using obstacles. I think it'd be movement, because in gunfights you would move. In order for that to happen, for Call of Duty to be successful, is we need consistency. One game, one developer. Obviously, Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward are not going to give up. I feel like if all of us are backing them, we all thought Sledgehammer made a good game. We all bought the game on day one, and it was not a good game. It's still incomplete. There were 9 maps. They're making us pay to get maps into ML to be able to play competitive. Stupid. You're separating the community. Stupid. It's just very frustrating when you see an esport that you want to thrive and be successful being the exact opposite. Now we're gonna look at Halo. Cross this out. We're gonna look at Halo. Splice just won its world championship, sweeping Tox, the ex-Optic Gaming roster. Splice played Optic in winners finals, 4-1 them. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back on Call of Duty one more time. Why are we doing 2 best of 5s in grand finals? Why are we doing that? In Halo 3, it was best of 11. Best of 11. First to 6 games wins. That's 2 best of 5s. And let me tell you, Game 11, Team Slayer, I'm visualizing it now, getting chills right now. Maybe it's because I have a tank top on and it's probably 50 degrees in the apartment. But Warriors versus Triggers Down. Goofy kills SK? Can't remember. Bottom snipe on Pit, his side. 48-49. Alright? Or 47-49 at this point. Or 47-48. Warriors are losing. Game 11, losers bracket finals. Winner goes to grand finals. Goofy kills the sniper, who's one shot under his snipe tower. Grabs sniper and goes all the way across bottom pit, bottom bridge, and heads towards their sniper tower. He gets this crazy, insane quick scope on a Triggers Down player, and he makes it 49-49. And then someone from Warrior says, "Oh, I died," but he out BRs the player, and Warriors wins 50-49. It was insane, and it was game 11, and it may not be losers finals, it may be losers semis, who knows. It's in the losers bracket, that's all I know. Late in the tournament, loser goes home. Game 11, dude, that was insane. Why are we doing 2 best of 5s? I don't know if you remember this, but E United and Optic Gaming, I think it was at I think like they played twice in the grand finals, I think, 2 different times. United won the first time. I think that was at Atlanta, and they lost. Optic lost 2-3, 2-3. No. Optic won. No, they only met once. Sorry. Optic won 3-2, causing another reset, then losing 2-3. 3 plus 2 for Optic is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5 for E United. Now, E United was crowned the champions because they were coming from winners bracket and not losers. But if you're in grand finals and you have the same map count at the end of it, why would one team win over the other? Because they had less games to play because they went to the winners bracket and won that and then went to grand finals? No. I think the winners bracket is just so you don't play as many games. You don't get as tired out, burnt out. Back in, baseball, high school and stuff, when they had double elimination brackets, losers bracket was you had to figure out your pitching, who can pitch, your strategy, how long are we gonna have him pitch? He can only pitch this many pitches before his arm gets burnt out, and we can't have him pitch the next game on Tuesday if it's a Monday, so we have to wait. Yet, so they played more games, but the championship game was one game. There was no, oh, well, we went from winners bracket, so you have to beat us twice. No, you just played less games. Therefore, you have a better chance of winning. Your team's not burnt out from playing 3 or 4 more games, or maybe 2 to 3 more games. So why are we giving grand finalists? Oh, it's okay. We won. We don't have to. If we lose the first set, it's fine. No, you play one best of 11. Well, you can't really do a best of 11 when they only have 9 maps and half of them aren't competitive. So you're gonna be playing the same game again or same map and mode again twice. But in order for that to happen, you do a best of 11 to make it so it's like the clear winner wins it. If you are the best team in the game, there should be no doubt in my mind that you can beat the second place team 6 out of 11 games. You can drop 5 and still win. Yet we crowned a champion with the same when the winner and the loser had the same map win total in grand finals. I tweet it out every time whenever it goes to a second set. Why? If you did not win 6 games in grand finals, why are you the champion? Now, if you beat them 3-1 and then beat them 3-0, then you beat them 6-1. You're the champion. If you beat them 3-0 and then lost 3-0, how are you the champion? Or how are they the champion? You guys have the same amount of map wins. That's why I think Halo was the best esport for console gaming ever. Their tournaments were so smoothly ran. It wasn't even big. If you go to YouTube and type in Halo 3 MLG Columbus or Meadowlands or Orlando or Anaheim and look at the crowd. There's no one there. If you go early Halo 3, there's nobody there because it's a bracket, or not brackets. It's like just stands, like 3 rows of stands, and there's probably like maybe 100 people, if that, because it was usually streamed online on Justin.tv or JTV or whatever, back before Twitch bought it out. So that's what I don't get. And that's going to actually come into our fourth and final topic. The thing about Halo is that you can talk about Halo and it can be with anything. So basically, to recap what I was saying on Halo, best of 11. Why it was so good? It was the same game for 4 years. Halo Reach was played for a couple years too. Halo 4 died. Halo 5's been played for 3 years and it's horrendous. Viewership sucks. But that's what I'm going to be talking about in the future console esports. Future console esports, take note of what your predecessors did wrong and did right. In order for you to be successful, you do not make the same mistakes. Why would you make a game change every year? Why would you add things to a game to make it, quote, better? Halo 4, Sprint. Why? You saw how Halo Reach was. You saw how no one liked it. So why would you add that in? Call of Duty. Nobody wanted you to leave boots on the ground. Yet you left it. Your first game was pretty good. Second game was okay, but let's not have another jetpack game. Your third game. Oh my god, no one played that. No one. It was fun as hell to watch. Horrendous to play. I felt bad for the pro players. I felt really bad because I couldn't play it myself. But then again, I wasn't getting paid $4,000 or $5,000 a month to, or even more, to play that game. But for future console esports, please just make it better. Take what the PC games are doing, tournament wise, land wise, group stage wise, and add that to your system. I'm not saying system as in the console, but add it to your tournament system. Why are we having the same teams in every single tournament every time? FaZe Clan is probably the team that you want to look at for this. Didn't qualify, went through open bracket, won open bracket pretty much, and then almost won that tournament. They went the farthest ever. In 2018, FaZe is the only team to go that far ever. So why do we still have that? It's a broken system. The rich get richer. The pros get more professional. I guess I'm trying to make it like that one quote, but it's not going to happen. Amateur players will never succeed. Drop everything, and you still may not make it. And it's not your skill, and it's not your team, it's the system. Future console esports, take note of what the system is doing wrong. In order for you to thrive, you need the amateur player base. The amateur player base is not going to be here in 5 to 6 years if they will not be able to succeed. CSGO implements tournaments into their game. You can watch the game you can watch the tournament happening while you're playing a game. Not actually while you're playing and planting the bomb on A or B, but there's a tab and you can watch it. Call of Duty just brought that in. Black Ops 3 did that on PS4 only. Why don't you do it on Xbox? I'm not telling you to put it on the Switch. Just put it on the esport consoles that people play on. Halo, take note. I don't know if you have. I haven't played in a while. Future console esports, please take note of what you're doing wrong. I'm not bashing you. It's just getting frustrating to see. Collegiate teams are happening now. For League of Legends, Marysville, UC Irvine, teams that are giving away scholarships to play. This needs to be bigger because esports is here to stay. Console may not be. The PC is. Overwatch is on every single console you can imagine. And it's doing so damn well. Why aren't we doing it? Why aren't consoles thriving? Everyone, it's cheaper to buy a console than it is to buy a PC and be able to run a game. You can get a console for $200. A PC that can play a game like CSGO at the highest degree is going to cost you a couple more $100. I mean, you can play at, 30 frame or 60 frames per second on the lowest graphics you could possibly find. I'm not bashing you for that. But why isn't console esports growing? Why is it going backwards? And I think it's because our tournaments are set up wrong. Their player base is just getting frustrated. And it's just getting laughed at. Because our games aren't fun to watch. Except IW was fun because, the best two best teams was a fist fight. But anything else, Optics playing, let's say, Rival Esports, if that's even a team. If Rival Esports and Optic Gaming were to go against each other, who do you think would win? Optic Gaming, 100%. But if you're playing, Optic Gaming even says this, And when they're playing, they've never heard of this team. They kind of just, okay, let's think about next match, and they go to game 5 or something. Optic will still win, but it's like, holy crap, this team almost beat Optic. What is going on? More of those moments would happen if we had the same tournament structure as PC games, Dota. There's qualifiers all the time. They may not get hundreds of thousands of viewers, but it still changes the tournament. Who's in it? I think that's what needs to happen for future console esports to thrive and be successful, is make it almost exact replica as a PC, and you will thrive. More people will be more interested because maybe it's free to do this. Why don't I try? It does not cost you any money. It doesn't cost any of these tournaments online on Twitter any money to throw a 16-team tournament, and winner gets, a graphic design. The 4 players get a graphic. Yet why are we, not having that more? I think in the next 1v4, I'm going to be talking about, all I know is the first topic I'm going to be talking about maybe is the different types of leagues we have. We have the National League, then we have like 2 other leagues that are like, it's like Major League is the MLG, obviously, or CWL, and then AAA would be the National League, and then there's like some Midwest, something like that, leagues and all that stuff. So I'll be talking about those. And then I think Seattle's gonna be coming up, so I may talk about that. But I really do appreciate you guys coming out. The quality of my mic is not the best. I'm just using an Astro headset. Any comments, concerns? Follow me on Twitter, Greg Esports, just Greg, GRAG Esports. Comment down below. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. And I really do appreciate it. My mic may not be the best. I may stutter a little bit, but it's all opinionated. It's just a guy in his apartment room making a podcast. Talk to you guys later.